Hello guys and welcome back to the Dolly Geek. There has been so many requests about their clothing tutorial that I truly decided to work on it, and here it is. So this video won't have any repaint or remaking section this time. It will be focused only on the process to create a doll dress. And this is the design I came up with. As you can see, it's a gown inspired by Wonder Woman's signature outfit. It's a simple dress, perfect for this first lesson. We're gonna use Wonder Woman from DC Superhero Girls line as the model for our dress creation, so let's get started. For the pattern's creation, I'm gonna use cling wrap and tape. We need to cover the whole torso using cling wrap. I'm gonna cut small pieces and try to cover the whole area using them. Then I'm gonna cover the cling wrap using tape. This time we need to be sure it's really tight, so it can capture the shape of the body. Once done, it should look like this. Using a pen, I will draw the bodies we design. We need to draw really well all the lines that separate the different pieces. Before removing it, we need to take the measurements of the skirt, and for it I'm gonna use paper strips. They're really easy to work with, and I don't know why, but they work really well for me. We first take the measurement of the waist. And later we can decide how long is gonna be the skirt. I personally like it floor length. Now we can proceed to remove the bodies. An X-Acto knife is great for this step. If you did it right, it's gonna look just like a piece of armor, and you can see how it perfectly copied the shape of the body. Then, using scissors, I will separate all the different parts. We need to make these pieces look as flat as possible. I use the same technique to make a pattern for the belt. Using pins, secure them and transfer them to a piece of paper. Once this is done, we just can cut them using scissors. For the skirt pattern, we mark the middle of the waist strip, and then we make it match with the center of a big paper sheet. We make a point at 45 degrees angle, and then we connect that point to the center of the paper with a curved line. That's gonna be the waist of the skirt. Using the skirt length strips, we make marks using the waistline as start point. We can make it as wide as we want. In this case, it's gonna be a semicircular skirt. I always like to give just a little bit more of length just in case. Now we can cut it. And there you go. All the patterns are ready. We need to transfer our patterns to the actual fabric. I personally use a white watercolor pencil for darker fabrics and a regular pencil for lighter ones. Always remember to leave a seam allowance when cutting the pieces. I also cut the bodice pieces leaving seam allowance. And same for the belt. So at this point, you all should be asking where are the stars? Well, I chose the hardest way and decided to paint the stars on the fabric. I will use regular acrylic paint. I know I could have used a factory print fabric, but I really wanted the side of the stars decreasing like a gradient, and I didn't find any fabric like this. Anyway, this way, this doll will feel more unique, so don't be afraid to make your own decorations on the fabric. To be honest, it looks amazing. For stitching, I will always use a single thread, never double. Basically, I use only two kinds of stitches on my dolls. This one I call it double running stitch. It's great for inner seams that won't be seen, but you need them strong enough to hold 2 or more pieces of fabric. It's a regular running stitch. The only difference is we're gonna make a second running stitch all the way back. This way, if one of the two threads breaks, you still have the other one to hold the pieces. The second stitch I use is the back stitch. This one I use it for seams that are going to be seen, like hems and so. If you take your time and calculate every stitch, this one will visually emulate what a sewing machine does. I recommend you all to practice these two stitches if you're into doll clothing making, and believe me, you won't need a sewing machine at all if you get it right. So it's time to start the sewing of the actual garment. First, we need to make the two seams for her breast shape. It's really important that we use all the lines we previously draw. If we don't, we will be getting at the end a bodice with a round shape, so take your time and use pins. Use a double running stitch for these two seams. I will repeat the process on the other side. It's always good to try what we're doing on the doll. This way we can be sure we're heading in the right direction. Now we need to connect the two side pieces of the bodice. For this we're gonna use a double running stitch, and as usual make sure you're using the lines as guide. Repeat the same process on the other side. It fits her like a glove. To make the upper hem, I secure the area with pins. Take time for this one, cause it's gonna be really visible. Use a back stitch for this hem and never a running stitch. Now it's time to connect the skirt to the bodice. This part is tricky, so I recommend you to use enough pins to make sure everything is in place and won't move while sewing. Once secured and placed, use a back stitch as well, because this seam is gonna be visible. So again, take your time and never rush it, that's the secret. For the belt, just make a hem all around the shape, using a back stitch as well. Make a little hem on the back part of the bodice. I will use sew-on snaps to close the dress, but you can use Velcro if you want, or just sew it permanently to the doll at the end. I've done it sometimes, it's up to you guys. Now we can mark with pins where we want a hem. Of course, use a back stitch for this one. And this is the final seam to close the dress. And the dress is almost done. It feels strong, it feels like if I used a sewing machine, and it looks really nice quality and beautiful. Using a small piece of the same fabric I used for the belt, I made her insignia, just to give her a final touch. Now, dress and accessories are ready, we just need to dress her up. I think she looks so beautiful, like the princess she is ready for a ball. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you want me to add in the future a second episode with a different dress design. So, that's it for today. Until the next time, bye!